Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks. Last evening, the Prime Minister held a rally to promote his government's intention of placing a carbon tax on families, on workers and on seniors of this province. The Trudeau carbon tax will place a burden on the people of Ontario, costing up to $1,000 per household and as high as $5,000 in the future. Yet the Prime Minister claims that this tax will put more money back into the pockets of Ontarians. Speaker, I do not trust any politician that promises a tax hike will ultimately lead to tax savings. To our Prime Minister, stop offending the intelligence of Canadians. We do not trust your government. We have lost confidence in this government, and we believe Canadians, including former members of your own cabinet, demand greater transparency from this government. So to the Minister, can you outline the true cost and economic consequence of the Trudeau carbon tax?
Good question.
Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks.
Mr. Speaker, through you to the member for King Vaughan, and again, he's a great representative for his constituents here in this House. Mr. Speaker, I do understand that the Prime Minister received a bit of a mixed reaction last night, even among a partisan crowd. And perhaps that's because even partisan Liberals know that a carbon tax is going to hurt families. They know that a carbon tax will have a direct impact on families and businesses. A carbon tax will cost the people of Ontario more to fill their cars, to feed their families, to heat their homes. It's bad for families, bad for jobs, and bad for investment. Higher costs, less jobs, and lower investment. Mr. Speaker, if that's not a recipe for a recession, I don't know what is. If the Trudeau Liberals are interested in a plan, then they can take a good look at ours, see that how we will meet the targets they set, the Paris targets, but not do it without a job-killing, recessive carbon tax. Mr. Speaker, we stand with the people of Ontario, and we use all the tools at our disposal to fight the Trudeau carbon tax and to protect families.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Back to the Minister, and I appreciate he's made clear that this government intends to fight climate change without placing an expensive tax on the people of this province. Our party is proud to have a strong record of advancing conservation here in Ontario, the party that created and protected the Oak Ridges Moraine, the party that expanded park space in Ontario by the single largest amount by the Living Lands program, the party that initiated the first closure of a coal-fired gas plant in this province. We did all of this without imposing higher taxes on seniors, on families, and the future prosperity of this province. Speaker, while middle-class families will pay the price, the Prime Minister cut a special carbon tax side deal with Canada's largest emitters that mean that they will continue to pollute for free while families and small businesses get hit with the full force of this tax. Minister, what are the next steps you're taking to fight this tax while making sure we protect our environment for the next generation?
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, and again, thank you to the member for his question. Our government is committed to reducing greenhouse gases. That's why we brought forward our Made in Ontario Environment Plan that will work with Ontarians to have a balance of a healthy economy and a healthy environment. Mr. Speaker, we've already brought forward some key pieces of this plan for consultation. Mr. Speaker, we have brought forward our plans to increase renewable content in gasoline to 15% in order to reduce emissions. As I mentioned last week, we've brought forward our plans to have big polluters pay, to make sure that there are emission standards that are tough but fair on polluters. And, Mr. Speaker, as I've also mentioned in this House, I will be bringing forward our plan on waste, a plan that will reduce organics going into landfills, which will reduce harmful methane, which is also a dangerous greenhouse gas.
Response.
Mr. Speaker, this province deserves a plan that balances a healthy economy with a healthy environment. That's the plan we're bringing forward, and we're bringing it forward without a carbon tax.
Stop the clock.